Hey, what's up, everybody? Some of you know, some of you don't know. My name is Mclinn, and I'm taking the time to make this video because life is easy. It's so much easier than we've been led to believe. I know, speaking for myself, I was always led to believe that life was really complicated. If you turn on the TV, turn on the news, listen to the radio, listen to our elders, listen to the people that brought us up, life is hard. Life is a struggle. And there's evidence to back that up. But here's what I've learned is that life is whatever you say it is. So what I'm going to do is going to take some time. I'm going to be a little bit long-winded on this one, so get a snack, get some popcorn, get your pen and papers out, take some notes, ask questions, leave comments, hit me up, because I feel like this is so important. If we can really grasp what we get ready to talk about, I really believe you can make some really definitive changes in your life. So, in my opinion, life is a game, right? The game of life. We've heard that phrase before. But with inside of any game, there's rules. There's rules to games. Just like if we were playing basketball, there's rules. There's traveling, there's double dribble, there's out of bounds lines, there's 3 seconds in the key. But what some of us are doing is we're playing basketball with football equipment on. And then we're frustrated that we're not seeing the results that we think we should be getting. So what if we actually played basketball with basketball equipment and then on top of that understood the rules of basketball so we can have more fun and enjoy actually playing the game? So in the game of life, there are rules. I believe, along with some others, that these rules are universal laws. So I'm going to go over the 7 most important universal laws, starting with the first one. That's all this video is going to be about, is the first one. And in successive videos, I'll discuss the other ones. But I think it's so important that we take the time to break these things down, and I'm going to give you definitive definitions along with layman's terms, basic examples, so you can really try to grasp what I'm talking about. So I'm going to be reading from some literature and also speaking from personal experience. So there's 7 universal laws. The first thing to understand is that of the 7, the first 3 are immutable. Now what that means is they can't be changed. Like some laws can be bent, some laws can be broken, some laws you just have to accept. Gravity is an example. It's immutable. There's nothing you can do about it. It'd be pointless to not acknowledge it. So if we jump off a building, at some point we're going to come crashing down or landing down. So, you know, in an airplane we take off and we're flying and we seem to be defying gravity, but at some point we got to come down. If it's because the plane is out of gas, the pilot is like, gravity is going to take its full effect at some point. So there's just accept it. Appreciate it for what it is, because gravity has its purposes. It keeps us on the ground. If there was no gravity, we'd be floating around out in the universe somewhere. So gravity has its good points, has its bad points, but we can't deny that it's there. So that's what immutable means. There's nothing you can do about it. The first 3 laws are immutable. The second 4 are mutable, which means you can transcend them. You can bend them. You can change your perception or your perspective of them to rise above whatever that law is trying to impose upon you. So today, we're just talking about the first law of the universe. The first law of the universe, write this down, is the law of mentalism. Okay? The law of mentalism, and it's an immutable law, which means there's nothing you can do about it. The idea that your thoughts create your reality, there's nothing you can do about that. So whether you choose to believe it or choose to deny it, it's there. Your thoughts create your reality. So the definition I'm going to read for you is, like I said, write it down. The law of the mentalism is the first law, the law of mentalism. It tells us that the all is mind. The universe is mental, right? So that's what we're saying. Thoughts become things. that everything we see and experience in our physical world has its origin in the invisible, mental realm. It tells us that there is a single universal consciousness, the universal mind, from which all things manifest. All energy and matter at all levels is created by and is subordinate to the omnipresent universal mind. Your mind, my mind, your mind. Your mind is a part of the universal mind, the same in kind, with the only difference being of 1 degree. Okay? Your reality is a manifestation of your mind. This is true mind power. Okay, so that's the scientific or the definitive definition. Now, basically, thoughts become things. What you think about the most with emotion will at some point manifest into a physical object or physical result. So, whatever our results are, it's because of something that I've been thinking. So, for me, for example, money has been an issue with me because money is very emotional. So I have gotten to a place where I've worked to view it as it makes sense to me now in a more positive light. But for a long time, I've had many different emotions about money. It's easy to get. It's hard to get. Oh, I'm broke. Oh, I got a couple of dollars. Oh, I ain't got nothing. Oh, rich people are criminal. They're stingy. They're greedy. So all of these things help to shape whether or not money comes to me in my life. So if I believe that money is hard to come by, and that's the thought that I vibrate on, that I have a high frequency about, then that will be the result. I will only see the result of the seed that's planted. So those thoughts about money is hard to come by, well, I'm broke, that's too expensive, I can't afford it. Things that we see that we think are harmless when we say it, what we don't realize is that we're actually planting thought seeds. Mind, we're contributing that power that we have, that power that we have because we're connected to the universal mind, which has the ability to create. So whatever you call it, if you're calling it universal consciousness, if you're calling it the universe, if you're calling it the all that is, if you're calling it God, and all the different religions have their gods and their gods have names, you can't deny that it's all a part of this idea of a universal consciousness. And that universal consciousness is all knowing, all powerful, all present. Okay? And if I'm connected to that, so by law, if that can create universes and planets and people and things and living organisms, and I'm 1 degree separated from it because I'm thought manifested in physical form. We are all in the image and likeness of God. We are God manifested in physical form. So if that power is behind my thoughts and I'm thinking I'm broke, there ain't enough, I'm a victim, the economy is out to get me, people and situations, circumstances are out to prevent me from having the things that I think I should have, that's going to be my reality. Okay, it's very important to take a look in areas of your lives where we're carrying negative, limited beliefs about. Because if we can accept the first law, the law of mentalism, thoughts become things, and we can agree that it is an immutable law. There's nothing we can do about it. My thoughts create my reality. I can't say it enough times. I can't drill it enough times. Thoughts create your reality. So what are you thinking about the things that you care most about? Once again, if my thoughts about money are negative, are limited, are lack, or scarcity, then that's going to be my reality. And when I've had thoughts about money is easy, it's available, I've seen that result as well. So I accept the first law. My thoughts create my reality. So I want to be so, can't even think of the word right now. I want to be immaculate, for lack of better words, in respecting and accepting the law. So whether I can remember thinking the thought or not, whether I can recollect where that initial seed was planted about my feeling about whatever. In this particular case, we're talking about money. I accept the results that I see as by my own doing. So what we don't want to do is see a result and not take responsibility for it and blame it on somebody else or blame it on a condition or circumstance outside of me. If it is showing up in my reality based on the law of mentalism, an immutable law, then by definition, my thought created it. Okay? Sometimes that's tough to accept, that my thoughts are creating the things that I'm seeing, especially the things that we don't like. The things that we like, hey, we want to take full full credit for, full responsibility. So to be, like I said, for lack of better words, immaculate with the laws, to really take ownership of them, to try to study them and understand them to the point of mastery. So if I accept that no matter what shows up, my thoughts created it. If I don't like what I see, by law, if I change my thoughts, I will have a new reality. Okay? It's pretty simple, pretty basic. Let's go a little further with it. So I mentioned that the universal consciousness is called the universal mind. Okay, so there is a single intelligent consciousness that pervades the entire universe, the universal mind. It is all-knowing, all-powerful, all-creative, and all-present. As it is present everywhere at the same time, it follows that it must also be present in you. That is you. Okay? So the universal mind, God, Christ consciousness, kingdom consciousness, like whatever you want to call it. Jesus Christ, Muhammad, whatever your name is. That is where it starts from. There's nothing beyond that. And if we, I, you, me, are the image and likeness of God, inside of every creation is the creator. So when we look at our parents, or our parents look at us, or some of you that have children, look at your children, your creation, their creation, they look at us and they can see them inside of us. If you have children, you can look at your children and see you inside of your creation. So it's no different with God, universal mind. That is the creator. We are its creation. With inside of the creation is the creator. So you are your creator. Okay, does that make sense? Please, I hope you're following this. Your mind is part of the one universal mind. That is not simply a philosophical idea passed down to us through the ages. It is an exact scientific truth. Know it, believe it, apply it, and you will see your life transform in miraculous ways. The great Albert Einstein, you might consider him great, you might not, I do. He told us that everything is energy, that a human being is a part of the whole called by us the universal mind. His words echoed the most ancient of spiritual and philosophical teachings and still underpins today's cutting-edge scientific discoveries. The universal mind goes by many names. In the scientific world, we know of the unified field. In spiritual philosophy, we refer to the all or universal consciousness, and in religion, we call upon God. So we talked about that a little bit earlier. Who himself or herself goes by many names: Jehovah, Allah, Brahman, to mention but a few. The name is relevant only insofar as it resonates with you. So call it what you want. It doesn't matter. But understand that whatever that name is or whatever that feeling is for you, that is the beginning and the end. Okay? Here's an attention note. Whichever way you cut it, you come to this one unavoidable conclusion. There is but one consciousness of which your consciousness must be a part. A part, as Charles Hannell said, must be the same in kind and quality as the whole, the only difference being of 1 degree. The nature of the universal mind is omniscience, which means all-knowing, omnipotent, which means all powerful, omnipotence, all creative, and omnipresent, always present. Know that this too is your nature. We just talked about inside of every creation is the creator. You have access to all knowledge, known and unknown. You have access to an infinite power for which nothing is impossible. You have access to the limitless creativity of the one creator. All these attributes are present within you at all times in their potential form. I hope you guys are enjoying this. When I started studying this and really embracing and understanding, I was just flabbergasted. I was like, I wish somebody would have taught me this when I was a kid. In a nutshell, there is a single consciousness, the universal mind, which pervades the entire universe. It is all-knowing, all-powerful, all-creative, and always present everywhere at the same time. Your consciousness is part of it. It is it. All is one. You are connected to everything and everyone. You are already connected to what you want. To the degree that you truly comprehend and internalize this truth, you will be able to become the master of your mind and the director of your life. I'm going to read that again because that's very important. You are connected to everything and everyone. A lot of us, what we've been taught to do is compartmentalize. That is so not what we should be doing. Understand life in the terms of a circle where everything is connected. Not, I was really good at, well, I'm going to put this in the box over here, put this in the box over here, put that in the box over here. You know what? This is uncomfortable down here. I'm just going to focus on this over here. When the truth is, maybe if I tackle the thing that I'm most uncomfortable with or where I need the most growth, it will unleash the floodgates for everything. Does that make sense? So think about life as a circle. It all being connected. We are all connected to each other. So black, white, Spanish, African, like we're all a part of the human body, the human race. We're all just like cells within our own bodies. There's trillions of cells in our body. That's like little people running around like we do on the earth. It's all connected. Everything has a function. So as soon as we try to separate from that which we are, in essence what we're doing is we're using our own God consciousness power against ourselves. Okay? Think about that. So I'm going to read that line. You are connected to everything and everyone. You are already connected to what you want. Okay? Hopefully you understand what that means. You are already connected to what you want. So I don't have to look for the abundance that I seek. I'm already connected to it. Right? Think about it in terms of, we don't sit here and try to count how many breaths we breathe every day. We don't worry about that. We know there's enough air, it's abundant. We don't try to count the raindrops in a storm because it's abundant. We don't try to count the water molecules in the ocean. We don't try to count the grains of sand on beaches. Like it's infinite. Okay? And everything else is the same no matter what we've been told to the contrary. That, oh, money is not available, or things and circumstances and people and opportunities, oh, they only come to the select few. That's BS. It is available to all of us because we are all connected to the universal mind. That God consciousness, that Christ consciousness, that Buddha, whatever kingdom, whatever you want to call it, you are connected to it. Okay? So if you are connected to it, and in that arena it is all abundant, then you're already connected to what you want. But now the key is you have to match the frequency. Okay? The frequency to the very thing that you say you want, what you are already connected to. So if I'm saying I'm broke, I'm poor, when's somebody gonna give me a chance? Ain't no opportunities. Is that the same frequency as opportunity abounds? Abundance abounds? Nah. Okay? Even more succinct. Think about it in terms of a radio station. Right? I live in LA. If you're in LA, you know a station like maybe The Wave 94.7, right? That's a radio frequency where it emits a signal of music, a certain kind of music. It would be foolish of me, knowing if you're from LA, you understand this, to turn on the radio, turn on 94.7 and go, I want to hear Jay-Z. I want to hear some rap music on 94.7, right? And then you might come to me and go, hey man, you're on the wrong station. And I go, what are you talking about? It's the radio. They play music. Music, you know, Jay-Z is music. They should play it on this station. And you're looking at me like, dude, you're on the wrong station. You're on the wrong frequency. You're asking for Jay-Z, which is rap music, to play on a frequency that they don't play. That type of music. Right? So what should I do? If I understood that, then I would change my frequency. I would change my dial. I would tune my station to a different channel. Right? I would maybe go to Power 106. Wow, they play rap music. They play Jay-Z. I'm more apt to be a match for what I'm looking for if I find the right frequency. Okay? It doesn't get any simpler than that. So I have to match the frequency. My thoughts have to match the frequency of what I'm already connected to. So once again, if I'm saying I'm broke, if I'm saying there's no opportunity, if I'm saying that, you know, woe is me and I'm a victim, that's not the same frequency as abundance, as gratitude, as love, as praise, as joy. So I would need to raise my vibration. Okay? So once again, and I hope I'm not boring you with this, you are connected to everything and everyone. You are already connected to what you want. To the degree that you truly comprehend and internalize this truth, you will be able to become the master of your mind and the director of your life. Universal law number 1, the law of mentalism. Thoughts become things. So we talked about your mind is a part of the universal mind, and your reality is a manifestation of your mind. This is true mind power. So we're going to click on the link about mind power. Okay? Thought power, mind power, thought power. Your thoughts create your reality. Thought power or mind power is the key to creating your reality. That's what we've been talking about. Everything you perceive in the physical world has its origin in the invisible inner world of your thoughts and beliefs. To become the master of your destiny, you must learn to control the nature of your dominant habitual thoughts. By doing so, you will be able to attract into your life that which you intend to have and experience as you come to know the truth that your thoughts create your reality. Right? And I'm not talking about The Secret. I mean, a lot of us have seen The Secret. The Secret is really like the tip of the iceberg when it comes to manifestations. Not to say that you ever couldn't just sit and think and meditate and vegetate on something that you're saying you want and post it on the vision board. I have vision boards, but I use them to identify something that I already have. Right? I'm not looking at it trying to magically conjure up. I understand there's inspired action that goes along with creation. There's things that you have to do physically, right? Not just sitting here praying and wishing and hoping that somebody knocks on the door. Now, I'm not saying that's impossible, right? That maybe can happen for somebody. But here's what I do understand, that if I'm wishing for something magically to appear, and it has to do with or connected to beliefs that, you know, I might be saying I want something, but deep down I'm thinking it's not really possible, but I want it and it's not possible, and I want it and it's not possible. I might be able to magically create it. But doing that, I'm not going to truly believe that it's mine. So I'm not going to treat it as if it's abundant. I'm going to treat it like it's like magic. Here today, gone tomorrow. Right? So picture a sieve or a spaghetti strainer, right? So you have the bowl with the holes in it, and you magic something up, right? You thought about it and somehow you created it. And it's like putting it in a strainer or a sieve, right? So you're not going to be able to hold on and maintain it because it's constantly draining out. Okay? So what we want to do is line up to the abundance of it, knowing that we already have it, we're already connected to it. That way we can manifest it whenever we want. It will be effortless. Okay? For every outside effect, there is an inner cause. Every effect you see in your outside or physical world has a specific cause which has its origin in your inner or mental world. This is the essence of thought power. Put another way, the conditions and circumstances of your life are as a result of your collective thoughts and beliefs. James Allen said it best when he said, circumstances do not make a man, they reveal him. Excuse me. Every aspect of your life, from the state of your finances to the state of your health and your relationships, is accurately revealing your thoughts and your beliefs. That's what we've been talking about. So it's not something that's external. It's not people and conditions and circumstances doing something to you. It's your thoughts that are attracting it or drawing it to you. So if I see something that I don't like, it's not for the thing that I don't like to change. If I'm seeing it, that means there's something inside of me. There's a vibration or frequency or thought or belief inside of me that's making it appear in my physical world. I'm attracting it. It's an inside job. Most people have it back to front, believing they feel or think a certain way because of their circumstances. That's just what we talked about. Not knowing the truth that it is their thought power that is creating those very circumstances, whether wanted or unwanted, right? So we want to be meticulous with the law. If it's here, whether I like it or not, I did it. Right? So by law, if I don't like it, I can change my thought and do something else. By internalizing and applying this truth that your thoughts create your reality, you will grant yourself the power to create the changes you want to see manifest in your life. Reality creation is an inside job. Your thought power is limitless. There is a single intelligent consciousness that pervades the entire universe, which is all powerful, all knowing, all creative, and present everywhere at the same time. We talked about that, the universal mind. Your mind is a part of this one universal mind, and since your thoughts are a product of your mind, it follows that your thought power too is limitless. Once you truly understand that your mind is one with the single source of all power, and that this power is within you, you will have found the only true source of infinite power, for which nothing is impossible and impossible is nothing. Know that thought power comes from within. It's inside of you. It's inside of you. It is inside of you. Okay? Take responsibility for that. Stop blaming. Stop being a victim. Okay? So the first question that pops into people's mind, well, what about a baby? The baby, you telling me the baby creates the thoughts that happen to them? You know, what if a child gets molested or taken advantage of? And I go, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that that baby deserved what happened to him. Okay? But I personally believe that we reincarnate. Right? So there's once we die, that's not it. Energy can never be distinguished. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. I don't know what energy and a being brought into this physical realm to attract whatever. Okay? Whatever environment that they were born into, grew up in. Okay, but let's not even talk about that. Right? I don't want to get too airy-fairy on you. Yes, a baby comes 100% consciousness, pure love, a light, shining, just wanting attention and be there. Now, the environment that that child is in, the people that are raising them, the circumstances that they were born into, yes, it can have an effect, because the baby doesn't understand that this is how this world works in its infancy, right? But at some point, and they talk about scientifically, a baby is purely subconscious mind when they come here. So all of the information, all of the the parental guidance, all of the language, all of the TV, the radio, the whatever they're seeing in, they're storing in their subconscious mind. At the age of 4, 5, or 6, they start to develop conscious thinking, to where now, based on their subconscious programming, they start to act out consciously. So if a baby was mistreated or abused or misused as a child, and they're able to live beyond that time, now that is a part of their subconscious programming. So that's why a lot of us as adults, we still are repeating a lot of the same mistakes, but it has its seed in experiences that we had as a child. Okay? So, but what we need to understand is that we can lay blame on the environment that we were in, or we can take ownership of, as adults, the reality that we're living right now. And go in there and dig those roots out, those limiting beliefs, those woe is me, the I'm a victim, you did this to me, and that person owes us, and all the stuff that we hear. Rip it out, renew that soil, which is the mind, plant new seeds, and garner new truths, or new crops, or new fruits, right? So stay with me on this. Your thought power is limitless. There is a single intelligent consciousness that pervades the entire universe, which is all-powerful, all-knowing, all-creative, present everywhere at the same time. The universal mind. Your mind is a part of the universal mind, and since your thoughts are a product of your mind, it follows that your thought power too is limitless. Once you truly understand that your mind is one with the single source of all power, that this power is within you, you will have found the only true source of infinite power, which nothing is impossible, and impossible is nothing. Know that thought power comes from within. Accessing the source of all power starts by looking inside. Okay? So I apologize for being repetitive, but it's worth drilling it home. Okay? Your thoughts are alive. Okay? Your thinking, your energy is every. We'll get into other laws. I'm not even going to jump ahead. Your thoughts are alive. The greatest mystics and teachers that have walked the earth have told us that everything is energy. This has now been undeniably confirmed by modern science. Your thoughts, too, are energy. William Walker Atkinson told us that where mind is static energy, thought is dynamic energy. Two phases of the same thing, and Chris Hanna went on to say that thought power is the vibratory force formed by converting static mind into dynamic mind. Your thoughts are alive. Each time you entertain a specific thought, you emit a very specific corresponding frequency or energy vibration. Now, that was a little oogly googly and super scientific, but point is, if you start to pay attention to the thoughts that you have, really pay attention, you will start to see the physical manifestation of it. Right? So we don't want to confuse ourselves and go, well, I didn't think that. I planted lemon seeds. I didn't. Where did these tomatoes come from? No, if you planted lemon seeds, you would get lemons by law. If you're planting tomato seeds, you're going to get tomatoes. So if you thought you were planting lemon seeds and tomatoes showed up, you got to take ownership of that. Okay? Take responsibility. Your thoughts are alive. What frequency are you on? We talked about that earlier. The basic premise of the law of attraction, and the law of attraction is the law that binds the 7 laws together. The law of attraction is that like energy attracts like energy. You attract to yourself those things and circumstances that are in vibrational harmony with your dominant frequency, which is itself determined by your dominant mental attitude, habitual thoughts, and beliefs. Mike Dooley, one of the presenters of the movie The Secret, we just mentioned about that, fittingly suggests that if you want to know what a thought looks like, just look around you. Keep in mind these 3 words: thoughts are things. So, I mean, that's pretty profound. As much as I don't discard the movie The Secret, but there's a lot of good information in there. Look around. I don't care what anybody says. All you got to do is look at their results. That will tell you what they believe. Okay? Thoughts, your thinking, your dominant feelings your dominant beliefs that you have with emotion. Emotion is just energy in motion. Produce physical results. So I don't care how much somebody's talking. All you got to do is look at their results. That will tell you every single time what they believe. Okay? Here's a little side note. Not all thoughts are created equal. It's good to know. The attractive power of any particular thought is determined by how often you have that thought, by the strength of the feelings or emotions associated with it. We just talked about that. Emotion is energy in motion. The thoughts that you have that you're putting the most feeling behind, right? Because we think, they said like 70 something thousand thoughts a day. So it's not, we can get to a space of instant manifestation, but right now we wouldn't want that because we have no control of our thoughts. Sometimes we think, I wish that person would get hit by a bus. We don't really want that in that moment. Sometimes we think, I wish I could win the lottery right now. But these are not thoughts that I give a whole lot of emotion to. They're fleeting. So it's the thoughts that you have feeling about, that you constantly think about. The more energy you give to a particular thought, the greater its power to attract its corresponding circumstance into your physical world through the law of attraction. We just talked about. Your one-off passing thoughts do not have the same creative power as your habitual thoughts and beliefs. Remember that it is of little use to entertain positive thoughts for just a short burst of time each day if you then proceed to think negative or unwanted thoughts for the rest of the day. A negative thought cancels the benefit of a positive thought and vice versa. Since your reality is the sum total of all your thoughts, there are many factors influencing your life. This makes it difficult to directly join the dots between the cause, which is the thought, and the effect or the circumstance, but the causation is always there. Okay? That's why, churches you have your opinion, I have my opinion about them, but that's why they do have a strong benefit when it comes to group praise and group gratitude and group prayer, because now you have multitudes of people focusing on a single thought. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of emotion. Like, the universe really takes hold of that. Okay, so it's positive or it's good, but it's also positive that you surround yourself with like-minded people. We've heard that before. Okay, like attracts like, misery likes company, so does positivity. Okay, you are your 5 closest friends because there's like energy, there's like mind. So if you don't like where you are, look at the people that are around you. Look at the energy that's around you. Excuse me. If you want to change it, get around some people that you admire, that you like being around. That's why I try to start groups and Facebook groups and meetup groups, and because I'm like, I want to be around like-minded people that are trying to strive to grow, to be better, to evolve. Not just get caught up talking about people and the little penny ante things that most of us spend our time on. Like, I want to elevate myself, and I want to elevate those around me, and I'm inspired by people that go out and try to do things and create and take a chance and evolve. Okay, so this stuff is important. Keep it in mind. You're passing thoughts that do not, we talked about that. Since your reality, come on, finger. Since your reality is the sum total of all your thoughts, there are many factors influencing your life, right? This makes it difficult to directly join the dots between the cause, the thought, and the effect circumstance, but the causation is always there. Cool. Use thought power to change your life. It is your subconscious mind that is the storehouse of your deep-seated beliefs and programs. We talked about that earlier when I used the baby example. Subconscious thinking, conscious thinking, and superconscious thinking we haven't touched on yet. To change your circumstances and attract to yourself that which you choose, you must learn to program and reprogram your subconscious mind. The most effective and practical way to do so is to learn the simple process of creative visualization It is the technique underlying reality creation, making use of thought power to consciously imagine, create, and attract that which you choose. Your imagination is the energy, is the engine. Sorry, your imagination is the engine of your thoughts. It converts your thought power into mental images, which are in turn manifested in the physical realm. So I'm going to read that again because I kind of fumbled that. Your imagination is the engine of your thoughts. It converts your thought power into mental images, which are in turn manifested in the physical form. Okay, so our imaginations, the things that we can create mentally before they become physical. So somebody like the Wright brothers, who imagined air travel, or the people that first created the automobile or electricity, or all of the inventions, the cell phone, all of the inventions that are key to our existence today. At some time, people thought they were crazy. Okay, people thought the world was flat. So imagine the first person come around going, well, the world is round. Well, hang him, lynch him. He don't know what he's talking about. He's shaking up the status quo. So your imagination is a powerful tool. And notice when our imaginations were the most vibrant, when we were kids, right? You could give a kid a piece of paper. We gonna turn that, man, give me a piece of paper. It was an airplane. Fold that thing up into an airplane. Ball it up into a basketball. It was so many things that we can turn. A paper clip. We fold a piece of paper up into a football and play football across the desk. Like, kids have imagined, they'll take anything and create worlds, right? And then at some point along the way, we became adults. And we were told, oh, that's child's play. Stop using your No. Your imagination is what brings your thoughts to life, and it gives it energy. So how can you imagine the life that you want to have? If you want to be in a relationship, or you want a family, or you want a certain type of house, or you want to be of service to people, or you want to create something, you have an idea, a clothing line, or a script idea, or, whatever it is, an app that you want to create, it starts here in your thinking, in your imagination, but you have to see it first. You have to see it first. Stop letting people, pardon my language, shit on your ideas. Okay? Stop it. Your thoughts are powerful. There's nothing that is not possible in this universe. We've seen it. But we think it's outside of us. We think, oh, that person is special. That's why they can do it. No, you are special. You matter. Because you are connected to the all that is. Inside of every creation is the creator. I can't say it enough times. Okay? Get back in tune with your imagination. Take time to think. And I'm not talking about daydreaming. Really consciously sit down and imagine. Imagine the life that you want to have. Think about it. Draw pictures of it. Cut out. Now, you want to create your vision board? Right? Do that. Take the images that you think about or that you see, put them on your vision board, knowing that it's available to you, that you're already connected to it because it's already there. If one person can do it, you can do it. We're all connected. We're all a part of that universal consciousness. Sorry, I get a little preachy. Become aware of your thoughts, but not obsessed. Okay? It is important that you learn to be aware of your habitual thoughts and to appropriately adjust them so as to maintain an overall positive mental attitude. However, be careful not to become obsessed with every thought that enters your mind, as this would be equally counterproductive, if not more so, than not being aware of them at all. Remember that to obsess over your negative, unwanted thoughts is to give them power, and as the saying goes, what you resist, persist. So instead of resisting any of your negative thoughts, simply learn to effortlessly cancel them by replacing them as they arise. Okay? So, once again, a lot of us, me included, when I was coming up, I saw a lot of what I didn't want. Right? And I was never taught to identify what you don't want, but then turn your attention towards what you do want. Okay? Negative and positive are equally important. So that's why I always scratch my head when people are trying to rid the world of negativity. You can't do that. It's necessary. It balances out the world. right? There's other laws that we'll get into that will talk about that. But negativity is necessary because it's there to identify what you don't want. Okay? How do you get rid of negative limiting beliefs? Think about it like this. What you give your attention to, we talked about, with feeling and emotion, lives. So be it negative or positive, universe is neutral. So what if we had a plant, right? Bought a plant from the store, it's alive, it's vibrant, and we stick it in the closet and close the door. What happens? As you and I both know, the plant will die because it's not getting attention. It's not getting nurturing. It's not getting nourishment. It's not being watered. It's not being paid attention to. We're not trimming the leaves to keep it vibrant and fresh. So what we don't give attention to will die. Okay? If we stop giving attention to these negative limiting beliefs, they will die. Think about it in terms of your life, in personal relationships. Any relationships that you don't give a lot of attention to, at some point they wither away, they die. Sometimes it's for the good, sometimes it's for the bad. It's up to you. It's a personal deal that you got to figure out. But it's attention to. So that's what they're saying. Identify the negative thought, but don't sit there and stare at it and yell at it and tell it to get away and get rid of it and leave me alone. You're giving it attention. See it, turn your attention to what you do want. Right? Using a child example. When a child throws a tantrum in the store because they're not getting something that they want, all they're doing is seeking attention. Right? Some parents, no judgment, get up, get off the floor. Get up, stop acting like that. Right? No. When I babysit kids and they act like that, I just turn and walk away, stop giving attention. They find me every single time because it didn't work, right? So just stop giving it attention. Stop focusing energy on negative limiting beliefs. Identify it because we're being meticulous with the law. If I see it, then I'm responsible for it being here. Now, I don't like it. Okay, let me stop giving it attention. What is the opposite of this feeling that I have? Oh, bliss, gratitude, praise. All right, you know what? I don't like the fact that my funds are low. Well, let me stop thinking about it like that because let me be grateful for what I have. I'm not missing no meals. I got a roof over my head. I got clothes on my back. Let me be grateful for those things. And then by law, if those are my thoughts, my continuous thoughts with feeling, more of that will come. Okay? Instantly replace unwanted thoughts. To instantly neutralize the power of a negative thought calmly and deliberately replace it with its opposite, positive equivalent. That's just what we talked about. For instance, if you think to yourself, I'm not good enough, I will never succeed, mentally replace that thought with, I am good enough, and success comes to me easily. And sometimes it's, I'm not saying that's not an obstacle to overcome, but all you got to do is, if you can't do that for yourself, then be around people that are doing it. It'll rub off on you. Your favorite person, your mentor, your hero, an entertainer, an athlete, it's like, look at them to find qualities that you want to emulate if you're struggling to do it for yourself. You can also use the cancel technique made famous by the Silva method. I'm not that excited about that. Each time you catch yourself thinking an unwanted thought, mentally tell yourself the universe cancel, and immediately follow it up with a positive statement. You can use that if you want. You know what? If I think something like that, I do stand guard at the door of my conscious mind. I don't just let stuff in there. I'm not lazy with that. Okay, so I stand guard of my conscious mind. So if an old thought that was in there peeks his head back out, I just deal with it. I analyze it. I go, why am I thinking that? Why am I feeling that? Is that an ego thought, or is that a godly thought? Is that a kingdom consciousness thought? Is that the all that is thought? More times than not, 99.9% of 100% of the time, it's an ego thought. So then what do I really want? I want the positive opposite. And then I just focus on that. Tame your dominant thoughts and your random thoughts will follow suit. It is estimated that the average person has between 12,000 and 70,000 thoughts a day. We talked about that. This is evidence enough to suggest that your goal should not be to control every thought. It is your dominant thoughts and belief that you must learn to bring under your conscious control, as they are what largely determine your mental attitude. As you do, you will find your random thoughts themselves becoming more positive and deliberate. In a nutshell, your life is the perfect mirror of your thoughts, beliefs, and dominant mental attitude. Whether you realize it or not, you are already creating your reality through your thought power, your mind power. Every effect you see in your outside world has its original cause within you, no exceptions. To gain access to the greatest creative power at your disposal, you must learn to control the nature of your habitual thoughts and to align yourself with the one source of all power of which you are a part. Your thoughts, your thoughts create your reality. Know, internalize, and apply this truth, and you will see your life transform in miraculous ways. All right. That concludes the first law of the universe. Okay, I know it was a long video. I told you I was going to be long-winded. I hope you enjoyed it. The first law of the universe, the law of mentalism. Your thoughts create your reality. Thoughts become things. What are the thoughts that you're continuously thinking about with feeling? Okay? Those are going to be the results that you see, not the fleeting thoughts. Okay? Lastly, it's an immutable law. There's nothing you can do about it. Accept it, take control of it, take responsibility for it, learn to master it. The law of mentalism. All right? Hey, my name is Mclinn. There'll be more videos to come. Thank you for having patience and being present with me and understanding this is so important. Life is a game. Once you understand the rules to the game becomes easy. So become a master of the game of life. Master these laws. Remember the first law, immutable law, the law of mentalism. Thoughts become things. Inside of every creation is its creator. Okay? We are all a part of this universal consciousness. We're all connected. Have a great day. Peace.